So in this practice problem, this lady is looking for Tarzan. I've never seen a practice problem with such weird context. Like, I've heard professors say, okay, car's about to hit a kitty cat. How much force does he need to stop in this amount of time? Blah, blah, blah. This here is some girl jumping onto a vine looking for Tarzan. There's a pit of hell, so to speak. So she misses, she dies, I guess. But she's moving at 6.02 meters a second. She jumps, grabs the vine, and clears the gap. My question to you is, how high can she grab on the vine? Well, let's break it down here. So let's break it down as just she's a circle, right? She's moving 6.02 meters a second. Okay, there's some sort of energy associated with that, with her mass, right? So her mass times her velocity squared. She's running. She converts all of that kinetic energy into a jump, and she grabs on, and her kinetic energy becomes 0, right? Because she's holding on to the vine, and the vine begins to swing, right? So, but just assume that her kinetic energy is 0 when she grabs onto the vine, right? So what does that tell you? It tells you all of her kinetic energy was changed into potential energy, right? She ran, kinetic energy turned into full potential energy. Okay, so we can say that the sum of the work, or the work net, is equal to 0, which is going to be equal to kinetic energy minus potential energy. Or in this case, if we rewrite it, kinetic energy is equal to potential energy. So, now that we've established a nice little relationship, let's fully expand this equation here to make it a little easier to solve. So we know that kinetic energy is 1/2 times the mass times the velocity squared, right? We know that she took this factor of energy and converted it into another form of energy, potential energy. Potential energy is the mass times the gravity times the height. Okay, so gravity times her height times her mass is a form of energy as well, based on location. We're saying that it's converted fully over to this, right? The second part of this question here asks you if it's dependent on the mass. Some of you might not, but on the book that I'm looking at, it's saying, it asks you, is this dependent on the mass? This is how you answer this question. Look at these. Look at this here. If I were to simplify, let's say I wanted to solve for v, I'd bring over the m and I'd divide by m. That would cancel the mass, right? So because we have a mass equal to a mass, right, we can just drop it out of the equation. Okay? So it's really like saying 1/2 velocity squared equals gravity height. And this is where that part of the question comes in handy, right? It's not dependent on the mass. If she was really fat, if she was 500 kilograms and she grabbed onto that vine, it wouldn't matter, would not matter, right? So using this knowledge, we can now solve for how high she can grab to fully convert her kinetic energy into potential energy fully, right? Because if she kind of grabs at the bottom, you know that if you grab a vine at the bottom or a rope and you swing, you want to grab the very bottom, so you go whoop. It's because if you grab really high up, you're not going to successfully stop yourself, right? If you grab too high up, you're not going to swing as much as you'd like. Hopefully that you can kind of visualize it if you've ever done that. Just kind of a thought, food for thought. Okay, so we want to solve for the height, so we just bring over gravity. 1/2 velocity squared over gravity is equal to the height. Okay, so we know all the variables here. Let us solve. So we say that 1/2 or 0.5 times the velocity squared, 6.02 meters a second squared, over gravity, 9.8 meters a second. We get the height is equal to 1.96 meters. We have 2 sig figs, so we're going to present our final answer as 2.0 meters. That's the solution there. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, a comment, subscribe if you wouldn't mind. I would greatly appreciate it. It would help more physics students see my content. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.